What's up, y'all? Once again, this is the Militant One here. Earlier today, I seen this incredible video. Okay, this brother's name is Rock Solid, and he went in on talking about how people think they can fight but really can't, and how many people are just flat out scared to fight. I actually made a post earlier this evening from a book that I bought and read. I haven't completely finished the book yet, but it's a great book for anyone that's looking into fighting and want to learn how to fight, or just want a great read in general. It's a book by a brother named Sam Sheridan, and it's called, let me look for the title of it real quick. The name of this book is called The Fighter's Mind Inside the Mental Game. It's a book that where he goes and he interviews various fighters and just athletes in general. He even interviews a chess player. He gets inside the mind of people and how they engage, their training, their views on fighting, how their experience in fighting in general. Now, this brother Rock Solid, he made a video. If you haven't followed his channel, if you want to go in. Put it this way, go type in Rock Solid, and if you come across this channel, you'll definitely come across that video. Alright, I recommend you watch it. It's almost a half hour long. It's definitely worth the watch. The name of the video in particular is called, let me look for it real quick. It's The Truth About Men in Fighting. All men who like UFC and boxing need to see this video. Let's just focus on the truth about men in fighting. And before I go into that, let me go into what I posted from the book, The Fighter's Mind, in which I'm going to read the quote from it. The fighter has lost a part of himself, the part that believed in his own power and invincibility, because what a fight is about more than anything else is will. When you're knocked out, I can do whatever I want to your unconscious body. Your ability to make decisions, to master your own fate, is destroyed when you lose a fight. You've been dominated, and to a male of the species, there is nothing worse. It violates every genetic principle in your body. I don't know any of y'all watching this right now, or anyone in general who would hear that and disagree with it. So, what does this have to do with fighting in general? Now, in the video that I referenced from the brother Rock Solid, he spoke about a lot of stuff. I can't even begin to summarize all the stuff he said. But, sorry for the camera shaking. I'm recording on my laptop for the first time. But, what I want to talk about is how you have people, grown men in particular, who don't want to learn how to fight. In this day and age, you have people that would rather learn how to use a gun and use the gun for fighting as opposed to actually using their hands, their elbows, their feet, their knees, just their body in general to learn how to fight. I hope y'all do understand that when you're learning how to use a gun, you're still learning how to fight. That's number one. But secondly, the gun is not the end-all be-all, okay? Anyone out there that's thinking to themselves, well, I'm just going to use a gun, I ain't trying to fight nobody. Well, yeah, if you're going to use a gun to fight, you're still fighting. You're just using a weapon. You understand what I'm saying? And many people, let's be honest, they'll buy a gun and they'll learn about how the gun works, but they don't train with the gun. Going to the range and shooting is not enough. It's not sufficient training with the gun. Okay, you need to learn everything about the gun, and you also need to learn how to draw your weapon. Okay, how fast can you get to your gun before somebody gets to you? And many people don't train and prepare for that. They just go to the gun range, if they even have a licensed gun to go to the gun range, because most people don't, because a lot of people don't. Okay, and if they are licensed, they just go to the gun range and shoot a piece of paper, and then be like, yeah, I mean, like, they'll hold up the piece of paper, the target paper, and I don't know the correct terminology for it, but they'll hold up the target paper, and you'll see it riddled with bullets, and they'll be like, yeah, I mean, I'm a problem with the gun. And it's like, no, you're not. Because under duress, can you get to your gun? Can you get to your gun cleanly? Can you create separation to get to your gun? And after doing all these things, can you get off a clean shot? Most people can't do that. You just got the gun to protect yourself, which makes sense, but you not really fit to use a gun. Okay, you haven't trained with the gun. Okay. So what does this have to do with hand-to-hand combat? Once again, you have people who just don't want to learn how to fight. Okay. Like, how can you, because in every other aspect of life, you got to know how to do what you're doing. Okay. You got a lot of people who, if you want to be able to eat, you got to learn how to cook food. Fast food ain't going to do it for you all the time. Okay. At some point in time, you got to go to the supermarket, buy food and groceries, put the food together and make a meal out of it. Okay. You can't keep waking up and going to the store to buy breakfast time and time again. You've thrown away money doing that. So it's going to click into your mind, I need to learn how to scramble eggs. I need to learn how to make pancakes. I need to learn how to make spaghetti. You ain't got to make an extravagant meal, but you got to be able to go to the store, buy certain things, put it together, and make a meal out of it. No one in their right mind would tell you you should never learn how to cook. Okay, there's certain things in life that's just essential. Gotta learn how to cook. Gotta learn how to drive. You gotta learn how to defend yourself. But for some odd reason, when it comes to defending yourself, people think that learning how to fight, how can you have all these, I spoke on this in a previous video, but how can you have so many systems of combat in this day and age as the human species evolve and as human conditions have evolved? For some odd reason, learning how to fight just doesn't make any sense. To some people. People really think that. I don't know if they look at movies and say no one really fights like that. And no one don't. And they don't. Okay. No one really fights like that, what they see in a movie. And you would have people look at UFC, MMA, and even in boxing and say no one will really fight like that in real time. While there is some truth to that, you're still better off knowing how to fight as opposed to not knowing how to fight. Because what if you come across somebody who actually knows how to fight? Then what do you do? Okay? Because all those guys you beat before, they most likely couldn't fight their damn selves. Now you're going up against someone who actually knows how to box, knows how to grapple, knows how to strike you various ways. It can pick you apart, and it wouldn't even be the slightest amount of difficulty on their part to take you apart. Okay? Everybody like to talk like, oh, I'm that guy, I'm that dude, or I got hands. Okay, like you do realize that when it comes to fighting, you need more than hands. Like I hope y'all watching this, and many of you understand this, what I'm saying. Many of you don't understand this. But it all comes down to the simple point of, how do you not want to learn how to fight? And the funny thing is, let a professional fighter, let Floyd Mayweather come to y'all and be like, yo, I can teach you how to fight if you want to learn how to fight. Most of y'all, if you never learned how to box a day in your life, would sign up for that. John Jones comes up to you and says to you, if you give me X amount of time, I can make you into a great fighter. Okay, I can give you the basics. I can teach you how to wrestle. I can teach you how to strike. I can teach you how to punch, kick, elbow, all that stuff. Okay? And that just give you a basic foundation for fighting. Most of y'all would be like, oh shit, you damn right I would do that. But you're only doing that because it's John Jones. You're only doing that because it's Floyd Mayweather. People in your own neighborhood that you actually know can coach you and teach you, you wouldn't learn how to fight from them. It doesn't make any sense. From these guys, you will learn. But from people that you actually know can teach you the disciplines, you won't even bother to learn from them. And you can barely afford it too, which doesn't make any sense. Like, these people aren't charging you an arm and a leg just to learn how to do this stuff. Just to learn how to walk properly in your stance. Learn how to slip punches. Learn how to punch properly. Learn how to kick properly. Learn how to grapple properly. Okay, all the stuff you actually need to do in a fight, Maybe not all, but there's a good bunch of it you will want to learn how to do so that if the shit goes down, you're prepared to handle it. Okay? Being gung ho and having the mindset that you're gonna fuck somebody up when you need to, that's great, but you should be efficient and proficient in what you're doing. Okay? Like let's look at sport. Let's look at sports. And people hate and will like to talk about how Floyd Mayweather all he did was run in the fight. But who in their right mind wants to get in a war of attrition? You're not doing that. My sensei from Maki Jiu Jitsu, he told me all the time, don't get into a war of attrition. You better off ending the fight as quickly as possible. And the best way for you to do that is to know how to fight. You also need to spar regularly. You understand what I'm saying? You need to be able to know what it feels like to take a punch, even if it's not a full powered punch. Know what it feels like to get hit in the face. Know what it feels like for somebody to grab you, pick you, and slam you on the ground. And then if they decide to stay on top of you, okay, assuming, of course, you doing MMA, okay, if the sparring you're doing is MMA sparring and not just boxing, because if you get knocked down in boxing, you get a 10 count or whatever. You get time to recover and everything like that. But what if you in a fight and because in real time, your opponent, whoever this dickhead is on the street that decided to do all some stupid shit, somebody look at you wrong and they decide to try to punk you, and you like, look, man, I'm good, man. Like, and you basically try to like diffuse it, but they still want to keep on doing some stupid shit. They still want to press you. They still want to try to punk you basically. Now you ain't going for it, but you rather not, deal with this dickhead. But the dickhead boy still want to try some shit with you. So now you got to fuck them up because they want to fuck you up. Stuff like that. Okay? And a fight can break out anywhere. And when the fight goes to the ground, somebody got to come back up. Both of y'all going to want to fight your way back up. But one of you going to want to keep the other guy on the ground. Like you need these things. You need these tools. You understand what I'm saying? Then you got to be able to defend your family. You got to defend your family, your loved ones. Okay, you might be out with your lady, somebody might smack your girl in the butt. Then what? Like, you gonna need these tools. There's no way that boxing, jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, wrestling, karate, it don't matter what the discipline is, it's asinine to think that none of them work anymore. It's asinine to think they don't work no more. But there's also situations, scenario-based training. Okay? Those type of things you can learn as well. There's no reason why there's no argument you can make to not want to learn how to fight. Okay? And like I said before, the gun ain't the end all be all. Because some people ain't scared to get shot. You got some people, they don't give a damn. They don't care for pain. Because they're focused on taking you out. For whatever reason. They might try to rob you. Okay? You might have started some shit that made them want to go after you. Okay? Yeah, because let's be honest. Like, sometimes we're the violators. Okay? That's a real thing to consider. Okay? But there's no argument anybody can make for not learning how to fight. Okay? It's like when people say, like, people even make arguments for not even wanting to get in shape. Like, think about that. Like, you have people that we're so jammed up. Let's just be broad about this now. We're so jammed up that we won't even make, we won't even take time to become healthier. Like my man, one of my coaches, his name is Tarek Moore. Okay, Body Fitness. If anybody know who that is, all right. Him and a couple other brothers, they're going around the city right now, and they actually popped up on me and did this to me also, right? And they're asking men. They're doing this with men primarily. Okay, I don't know if they do this with women. I haven't seen them do it with women yet. Okay, in fact, go on Instagram and look up and type in Body Fitness. Okay, BODIE2 BODY Fitness. Okay, go type that in, and you'll see on his page that he's actually challenging people to do at least 50 push-ups. Okay, he's challenging men to do at least 50 push-ups in one sitting. Or just to do push-ups in general. And you got a lot of people that can't even do, like, you got some men that can't even do 30 push-ups. Okay? Now, I knocked out about like 40. I'm going to be honest with you. I knocked out about 40. Okay? Okay? No excuses, but I ain't going to sit here and gas you up. Yeah, I pumped up it. No, I didn't do that. Okay? I did about 40. Okay? I got 40 in one sitting. All right? And these dudes is going around the whole city of Philadelphia. All right? Just asking people, look, can you, 2 questions. Can a man can a man do 50 push-ups? Every man, do you believe every man should be able to do 50 push-ups non-stop? And then, regardless of their answer, they ask you, can you do push-ups? How many push-ups can you knock out? If they say yes, they can do 50, they're gonna tell you on the spot. We need to see 50 push-ups from you. Okay? Because knowing how to fight requires and demands that you're fit to fight. You can't just be short with your hands and you can't take a punch. That don't sit well. Okay? You nice and you got all the tools, but you can't even last a round. Okay? Like, a lot of people just don't care for that. And you know another benefit of learning how to fight and knowing how to fight? When people know that you can fuck them up, they'll be less likely to try you on some shit. That doesn't necessarily mean they will be absolutely scared of you, but it does mean this motherfucker ain't the one. Okay? That's what it means. I ain't scared of this motherfucker, but I'd rather not deal with this motherfucker. Because I know he can do some shit to me that I ain't prepared for. And when you can hurt people in a myriad of ways, even though by nature all human beings are headhunters, you understand what I'm saying? When you can pick people apart so efficiently and proficiently and they don't know what the hell's going on with them, it makes life easier for you. Now, of course, those who don't know what the fuck you doing, who the fuck you are, they're not going to give two shits. You understand what I'm saying? But those who know you, nah, they ain't about to try you. Okay? And even if they don't know you, here's somebody with some shit that they ain't expecting. They won't be as inclined to fight you. I've seen video footage. These 2 guys was fighting. This one guy was just essentially like spamming. This one guy was spamming the other guy with leg kicks, fucking his leg up. By the time that guy that was getting kicked a whole lot decided to throw a punch, he couldn't put no weight on his leg. And the kicks the guy that was throwing the kicks he was throwing, he wasn't throwing the kicks like he didn't know what he was doing. Them shits was sharp, okay? And he's sharp enough to know that he had did some modicum of training. Like, how in every facet of life we know that it's certain shit that we need to be able to do. Okay? Like, when you go to apply for a job and you get on the job training, they teach you everything you need to know so that you won't fuck up when it's time for you to do your job. They teach you that. They give you entry-level training. But when it comes to learning how to fight, you don't want to do that because if you get punched in the face, you won't feel uncomfortable. Or it hurt. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't doing that shit. Like, no, man. I ain't. Like, you'll learn how to fight, but you won't spar, which is like an obvious imbalance. Okay? How do you do that? That doesn't make any sense. Okay? Like, you're great on the pads, but when you get punched in the face, when it's actually time to spar, you don't know what to do. You get gassed. All those combinations you was doing. And sparring is also an important part of learning how to fight as well. Because you can't just, like I said, I hate to be repetitive, but you can't just hit pads and then when it's time to actually put everything you learned and apply it, now all of a sudden you get scared. You get flustered. But in sparring, you actually, when you get thrown into the fire, you'll know how much you can withstand it. Okay? Like, you, and you need that. Like, I went sparring this past Tuesday at Rami Elite here in Philadelphia. And I needed that. I haven't sparred in probably, until that time, I probably haven't sparred for almost a year. It feels like, at least. No, I'm not going to say. It's been about at least 6 months since I had sparred. Since the last time I had done some sparring of any kind. Okay? And I needed it, man. I'm getting punched. I'm getting kicked. Now, it's a Muay Thai gym. It's a Muay Thai gym. So I didn't get taken to the ground and have to fight my way back up or anything like that. But it felt good to get hit again. Because I needed that. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I needed to be reminded. I needed to get into the fire. I needed to go up against And I'm not just fighting just like in your regulars or anything. There was one guy, can't remember his name, but he was like he's a professional fighter under Coach Rami. All right, nice too. All right, like you need that. Like every man should have. You ain't got to be a black belt. You ain't got to be a. You ain't got to learn how to be. You ain't got to be a professional fighter. But you need to know how to fight. Like, like think about this another thing. Also, you have grown men who have kids who themselves never learn how to fight, but they're taking their kids to learn how to fight. My son will learn how to fight because he ain't gonna be out here getting his ass whooped. Nigga, you getting your ass whooped though. So you gonna teach your son or your daughter to learn how to fight, but you not gonna learn your damn self? That shit don't make no sense. Like you should sign up with them, okay? Because what if your son trains long enough and then next thing you know, you don't know how to fight and he has to whoop your ass? I don't care. I'm throwing it out there. All right? I don't care. I'm throwing it out there. All right. Now, if you raise your son right, he won't even. Fuck it. If you raise your son right, no amount of training is going to make him buck up to you. Okay. Like it don't like I like so it ain't happening. Period. Point blank. All right. But as a man, you need to be able to. If this don't drive the point home, I don't know what to tell you. I seen a video on Instagram, right? Brother sent me this video, and he talked. I think he was talking to. I think these guys were in law enforcement, and one of the guys said that he locked up a child predator, and he asked the child predator, "What makes you go after the child or the children? What makes you confident to go after the children?" You know what he said? He said, "I'll examine the father, and if I think that he's not capable of stopping me, I'll go right after the child." Just think about that for a minute, okay? Like a child predator said, if the father of the child doesn't look like a threat, I'll go after him. Okay. Now, in fairness, just because you don't look like a threat doesn't mean you aren't a threat. But it's predators out here. Okay. It's predators out here. It's people out here that actually will prey on you. They look at you and they think they can easily take you. Learning how to fight shuts all that shit down. Okay? Seriously, it shuts all that shit down. No matter how gung-ho, no matter how tough you are, no matter what you've been through, put yourself through that fire. Okay? Because it's better that you know what to do against people that know what they're doing. So now, like, it's just better to be prepared. Like, forget all the other shit. It's just better to be prepared for a situation that you know may likely happen. Okay? Like, you know how much better it would be in the hood if everybody... Like this is something that the brother Rock Solid talked about. Rappers, they talk about all doing this all this other shit, how tough they are, gangster they are. Put gloves on them, they turning straight bitches. Like seriously, man. Like it just doesn't make sense that you have grown men who don't know how to fight, and it's not that they don't know how to fight; they just refuse to learn how to fight. But they like, well, I got that Sugar Shane in me. Nah, man, like you got sugar in you, but you ain't that. But Sugar Shane Mosley, you ain't got that in you. By the way, this ain't a knock at the Young Guns, Chris and Eve. I ain't doing that. Okay, but they say that, and you got a lot of dudes. They think they're nice, but no, they're not. You know how? Here's proof that you know a person can't fight. Okay, if you give your opponent a chance to square up, and you see how he hold his hands, look at his stance. His stance will tell you absolutely he don't really know how to fight. Okay? I'm telling you for a fact. Okay? A person's stance will show you whether or not they know how to fight. And even if their stance look good, the moment they throw any type of strike at you, and it's going to be a punch more likely than not, that will tell you, that will show you they don't know how to fight. There is no argument you can make for not learning how to fight. A gun can only do so much for you. All right. And most people don't train with their guns like they should. All right. Going to a shooting range and shooting a piece of paper that got a human body on it is not the same as practicing dry fire. Practicing unloading the magazine, taking your bullet out the chamber, and then loading the magazine back up. You got some people that don't know to understand the difference between the clip and a magazine. Like, you do realize that the clip holds the bullets, the magazine holds the bullets as well, but the magazine is what goes inside the gun. The clip don't go into the gun. The clip holds the extra bullets that the magazine doesn't hold. Many people don't know that. So, for everyone that's watching this video, learn how to fight, okay? You ain't got to become the greatest of all time. You ain't got to be, you ain't got to go and compete in tournaments, but learn how to fight. Learn a striking discipline, learn a grappling discipline, spar, grapple, roll around, do all that, okay? Seriously. And if there's any gyms in your area, go to the gym. Just go there, and if they have a chance where you can go out and learn, like if they have free trials, take the free trial. Okay, seriously, just take the free trial. There's boxing gyms that'll tell you can train here for a day for free. Go there and train there for a day for free. All right, put the boxing gloves on. Learn everything you can, and even if you decide not to go back, just take what they give you and just build on that. Shit, watching videos on YouTube is a whole lot better than not doing anything at all. Okay, but no argument can be made. Well, I ain't trying to learn how to fight. Like, and no man in their right mind will ever tell you that they don't want to do that shit. Okay, no man in their right mind will tell you that. But when it comes to actually trying to learn, that's where, like, they might draw the line right there. I'm gonna come through. I'm gonna see you. No, they not. As someone who has trained people, taught people how to box, taught people how to kick, showed people, multiple ways to take someone down and to block a takedown. Okay, like, because when I got into teaching people how to fight, what I was looking to do was basically just give people a foundation. That's all I'm gonna give them. And if they want to go somewhere else, at least I gave them a head start. So wherever gym they go to, they don't have to worry about, learning everything from scratch. Okay, like, I don't have a black belt in jiu-jitsu or Aikido jiu-jitsu. I'm not saying I'm great and I'm absolutely great at what I do, but I can teach people who don't know a lick of anything and give them something and make them better make them better. That's all I'm saying. Okay, I've trained enough people to where I at least have those that I've trained, they can put a good word in for me. So I'm not just shooting off at the mouth or anything like that. Okay, this is someone that has been taught and trained properly, and I teach and train people properly. And I don't cheat the people that I train, because the people that coached me didn't cheat me. Okay, so that's it. I'm gonna get ready for bed. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel. I'm really trying to have this channel grow and put more stuff out there. And I'm gonna look for the link and put the link down in the description for the brother Rock Solid. Give that video a watch, okay? Seriously, because that's a great video. All right. Once again, this is Militant One, and I'm calling it a night. I'll see you on the next video. Peace.